Please hang up and try again.
Or World, Parts 1 and 2. What a backslide! Here I sat praising him for the past 2 episodes. You needed to what you needed to do. Next set of episodes, some of the weakest stuff, weak sauce. Thoughts seem inconsistent. The plot seems to just gladly forget things. Power sets don't seem to line up. Both Martian Manhunters and Supermans. The highlight is, I suppose, the Green Lantern and Hawk Girl relationship. I do know there's stuff with that later on. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it or is following along with me. Nobody who hasn't seen this show before who's watching these currently. But that is kind of like starting the ball rolling on that. And I guess that's the only thing I can say that I like. The rest of it is lazy and doesn't seem... I mean, it's Gladiator, and every Gladiator movie you've ever seen just add Superman. And I'm not saying they needed to reinvent the formula, but paint by numbers is not the answer either. I mean, you just expect at some point, Superman to go, "I'm Spartacus," or something. What the... I don't know. And Mongol. No, I don't know very much about Mongol. He's the villain in the piece. Believe he's voiced by Ron Perlman, and what a waste of a villain. He fills the Emperor role as blandly, and not that he's doing a bland job, it's the script. It's just like, "I'm big and scary, so do what I say." There's nothing more subtle or interesting about him. It's just... Or even the idea of their economy of Warworld being in the toilet, and the way to control the populace is to keep providing them with this arena entertainment. That was kind of the thing. They don't go into the economics. I mean, I don't expect an economics lesson, but they pat over everything. They're just like, "Oh, we don't have jobs or medicine." How does Superman even know what the economic state of stuff is? He's stuck down there in the pit with warriors. What are they sitting there having long discussions about, finances? And they're going to say, these are people who will fight and die. Hey, they're not sitting there, are they waxing philosophic? They don't ever have that conversation. They don't. It would take 2 seconds for them to talk about that. Or have Superman, where, a scene where Superman is brought up to speed on that. Nope. I mean, John is brought up to it, so we, the audience, know it exists. But there's no real sense of it. It's just like, here's this hodgepodge of aliens on this shit planet, and stuff happens. Okay. So, Martian Manhunter and Superman are out to go blow up this asteroid. Hawk Girl's running comms because they needed to get her in the episode somehow, and just to have her show up would be silly. But to have her... She hasn't been in a prominent part of the episode, and she's more of the new character, still one of the most newest characters, hasn't had much go on with them. So, it makes sense to put her in a position to be even in the opener, and then in the second, and then after the intro we see Green Lantern. but he's already had his episode, so he doesn't need that extra screen time. So she's running comms. They're going to blow up this asteroid that's most likely going to hit Earth. Things go bad. It blows up. Somehow their ship is still mostly intact, but they were knocked out. That doesn't seem to make much sense to me, but I'll let it pass. I mean, I know it's just they need the find wreckage. I mean, why couldn't they just find wreckage or something? Why does it still have to be a mostly intact ship? This is Superman. This is the Martian Manhunter. They can take that level of a beating. That ship could blow up, and they might be knocked around a bit, but they're going to get up. And Superman's powers set seems odd. Seems like he's holding back for no discernible reason. And before anyone tries to argue, oh, when he has to do the gladiatorial fights, he doesn't want to hurt the other guy. That doesn't even make sense. Why does Superman not fly? Go up in the air where you can't maybe zap him with your heat vision or something, and be done with it. Why are you fighting on the ground? What possible reason? Doesn't serve Superman's goals. All it does is just so they can have a knuckle drag out fight. And if they could have had some reason, like there's a very low hanging force field, they can't do it. I mean, they have this force field around the arena that he can't get out of. Something so take flight out of the equation. Or make him only so he could like 10, 15 feet or something. I don't know. Give me something to work with here. Because they see the green, the end when Green Lantern and Hawk Girl just show up on the battlefield, they're flying around. What the fuck? Superman flies! That's not like a hidden power or an obscure one. That's Power 1! Yeah, okay, Super Strength was originally Power 1, and the flying came later after they got tired of the leaps to tall buildings and single bound crap, but we all know Superman flies. Children in the backwoods of insert country here who've never read a comic or seen a TV know Superman flies. This just... Why doesn't he fly or do anything? No heat vision, none of that crap. He's just, a little heat vision to melt a weapon, but he doesn't use it as an offensive tool. It would be extremely effective. But, nope. And he seems to get knocked around by all these weapons easily. And then he'll get back up and shrug it off. I mean, where is Superman's power set in this piece? I don't know. Are we doing... I mean, it just seems... It's a Superman piece, and I've never felt in these episodes that Superman has been weaker than in this set of episodes. And not that I believe that Superman should always be the toughest guy in the room, the pinnacle of everything, the alpha all the time. Certainly, there's points when you with working with Superman where he should be weakened or at risk. That's just basic storytelling. That's one of the reasons when Crisis rolled around, they rolled back his powers considerably, because classic Superman was just, pretty much invincible. He could, anything they wanted him to do, he could just do. Which leads to how the heck do you put the character in peril? But this goes the other way, and you have a Superman that doesn't really feel like Superman. And he has a chance to escape. He has a chance to escape. And he goes, oh no, I won't leave without John. John is free. John is outside the bubble. He could think, what's to stop Superman? Oh, well, I'll get free. I'll find my way back. I'll work towards getting my friends. I can do stuff to communicate. There's all these things I could do once I'm out. Heck, I don't even have to go outside War World. I could just get me beyond the energy shield. I can do the rest. And no, none of that. I'm gonna stay because John's here. John's on the outside, and the Martian Manhunter's powers are inconsistent. They have this conceit that his that there's something in the atmosphere monkeying with his power set. Fine, but how? Or not even screw how. I'm cool with just it being something. He seems to be have no problem with intangibility, which there's a lot he can do with that. His morphing powers are screwed up, which doesn't even make sense because his state as the Martian Manhunter, as we see him in the show, isn't his natural state. How is he able to hold that form and not just revert to his original, entirely Martian form? It does. What? Why? And he's sapping his strength. But at the end, he's fighting these guys and knocking them around pretty well. I mean, is he sap strength or not? Because if he's weak, if he's strong enough to do that, they probably still would have thrown him in as a gladiator. Why? What are you doing? Well, it's the last episode. The last 2 episodes, like I said, all you need to do, give me a 2-second reason, say blah, 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 exposition, or plot point, or plot convenience, and I'll go with it. I'll roll with the punches. This is a superhero show. I'm willing to suspend my disbelief. But you're just making my head hurt with this. And how do they know where the battlefield is after? Why not just go to there? Why doesn't John just travel to the battlefield and pick up Superman and say, okay, well, it doesn't even make sense that he wouldn't fly off. If there's no force field to keep him and he's still on the same planet, he could just fly and go, I'm going to go find John, I'll use my super hearing or something. Why can't he do that? Why? We don't know. Lazy writing. And, apparently John knows where the battlefield is, or they're able to find it easy, because once the Hawk Girl and Green Lantern have this whole thing, and even that has beef, like, they get on this junk planet, and they're wondering, like, well, I could, Green Lantern's like, oh, I could fly us out of here, but, who knows if we'd get anywhere before my ring runs out of juice. Then why are you still wearing the ring? Anytime he's got that Green Lantern uniform and his glowy eyes, he's still using the ring. It's still a level of power. And if you need flight or any of that stuff, it's not like you can't turn that thing back on or off, but just for general reconnaissance, turn that crap off. You have a flight character who's well and strong, and it's not going to take you 2 seconds to turn that crap back on. Preserve your power. I mean, I know they go right to a fight scene and have the whole thing go and be resolved real quickly, but, 2 seconds of thought. 2 seconds of thought. So they find him. Hawk Girl defeats an energy mega cannon by standing in front of it and hitting it hitting the projectile with her mace. I mean, this is supposed to be a planet killer. Why, I don't know. Why, if you can't read the cannon, does this blow up the cannon? I don't know. Maybe it could have blown up Warworld. She don't know. Just hit it. Why? So they fly over to where the battlefield is, say, oh, Superman, we beat the bad guy, so you can punch out Mongol, because he had this whole thing where he was going to face Superman and have Superman take a dive to help his political positioning and keep his status. And then they have and I can't even go into the gladiator guy who's such a cliche. It's not horrible, but it's such a step backward that I can't say I like it. And I don't want to come off as negative, but other than the introduction of Mongol, who I know comes back later in the series, I think in Justice League Unlimited, maybe earlier, I got in the Hawk Girl in Manhunter, I'm not Manhunter, Hawk Girl and Lantern stuff. Can't say there's anything of value here. Bye.